Hey, what is going on? You are listening to and watching today Tags Podcast, aka Talk About Gay Sex. I'm your host, Steve V, alongside my co-host, BFF, Jeremy Ross Lopez. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm really good. And in just a second, we are awaiting our second co-host here, Lincoln, who's just getting signed in. But just to get things started, this is our 200th episode of Tags Podcast. And can you believe it?
It's crazy. I can't believe it.
It really is. I mean, we are, for those of you watching, we started this show in 2017. Jeremy and I started it back then. And here we are in 2020 with 200 episodes. And on this episode of Tags Podcast, we're recording it on Zoom. So we thought it'd be fun to see our mugs here in the Situation Room. And I'm admitting Lincoln into our room right now. So say hello.
Oh my God, what a take.
Hear him. We just can't see him yet, but I can't. Let me see. We hear you. We just can't see your video.
Oh, well, that's inconvenient. Let me try this.
You have a little X there. You go.
Can you see me now?
Yes, we can.
Oh my God. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Say hello to Lincoln, and in the background is his boyfriend who just moved in.
Yes.
Sure.
The end of the move-in. It's good. Hi, everyone. Sorry that took a minute.
No worries. You know, the funny thing we were just saying, this is our 200th episode of Tags Podcast. And as you can tell, we're not really technologically sound when it comes to the Zoom. I like how he just said the Zoom, like I'm my grandma.
It's fine.
But we thought it would be fun, like I was telling everybody here, to record this show so you can watch it on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tags Podcast. And of course, it is on all our platforms right now, including our brand new Amazon Music. We are now on that platform.
Oh, fun.
Oh, yeah. We just got admitted. They just announced podcasts, and we are on to that. 200 episodes away here. Wow. Jeremy Ross Lopez, a lot has happened this year since we started the show. You no longer live in the city where we started this show.
I know.
Start with you. How does it feel? We talked a little bit about it last week, to live in Massachusetts and kind of restarting a whole new life.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a fresh start. It's a clean slate. I feel like a lot of people are in a similar boat. It was kind of unexpected, but it took a turn for the best. And yeah, it's really great.
I love it. And you were sharing me offline. I know you said last week you're starting to run, but you went shopping today and you're like down 2 sizes in pants.
Yeah.
Like you.
Wow.
Excited.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. I'm trying to get abs back for summer 2021. Hopefully it's a little bit better.
Right?
Okay, now I love it. I love it. Lincoln, you are literally on the opposite side of town of me. I think if I just look out my window, I might be able to see you.
Me, but there's scaffolding all over the front of my building. You probably can't see me behind.
Of course there is.
They put it up yesterday. The Thursday and Friday of this week, and it's covering my bedroom. It's that now I have a scrim. Nice thing. And guess it's supposed to be up until December 29th. So 2020 is coming out with a bang. Just keep bringing it.
I love it. I love it. Well, I want to get into some hot topics and some things to really celebrate this, but I couldn't help but it would be odd in a COVID era. As we are celebrating 200, you guys, there's literally, I think, if not later today or when this episode comes out, 200,000 deaths to this COVID nightmare that we've all been. And I thought we could just give a quick moment of silence to honor those real quick. Quick moment there. And I want to thank you for that. And friends to our show, Nisham, that I know you guys both know here in New York City. I always wanted him on the show. And it's one of those sucky things that I never got him on the show. And Nisham was a huge performer and just entity.
Yeah, he was definitely one of the New York legends in the nightlife scene for sure.
A force, no doubt.
Yeah. So as we celebrate 200 episodes, I was looking up the numerology, energy represented by the number 200, and there's a lot of things that it represents. It represents comprehensive relationship energy. Things like coexistence and teamwork are things that all are a part of the number 200. And I think that's really awesome that, as we celebrate 200, when we started the show in 2017, it wasn't really until, do you realize January 3rd of 2020 of this year, we were barely at episode 135. So that means that we did 65 shows in 2020. Now I know for me personally, it was a lot had to do with gaining some more numbers with 2 new shows that I started in 2020 that of course racked up some numbers that I'm really excited. Sex with Stevie that I do on Thursday nights, and now Tags Live on Wednesday nights. But we've gone through a lot of reformatting through the years, including this year, where we used to record the show kind of like we are right now, but in the same room.
Sitting across from each other.
I just kind of wanted to hear from you, what's been the difference, the pros and the cons about this new world of recording a show when it was just here, and how we've been still doing it. And I would argue in some ways a stronger show. Jeremy, what do you think?
I would say I guess the cons are the fact that we're not in each other's presence actually, but it really is a pro that we get to catch up on current events. And also it's just great to talk to you guys weekly and be able to just check in and see where everyone's at. And I don't know, it's a breath of fresh air for my week at least. And it's a great way to start the week when you get off to a rocky start. And I mean, I guess I look at the better side of everything. I mean, I think everyone's been through a lot over the past few months, but I think that this has been something that has been very refreshing to keep under our belt, and just keeping in contact and reconnecting with all of our fun stories and all of that has been the best. And I love every second of it.
Lincoln?
Well, my Mondays used to be wake up Monday drunk from the Eagle on Sunday night, go to the bakery, do everything I can to get what built up over the weekend done, go teach a spinning class at Crunch to 40 people, then get on a bike and bike to your apartment and have a glass of white wine and do this show. And give my opinion,
full
throttle. So when I woke up on Tuesday, I love being a busy person. When I woke up on Tuesday, my Monday was accomplished. And now I don't go to the Eagle. The bakery's a different animal. I wish I could teach a spin class more than anything in the world. So I miss that run of the mill, but I am happy that we've been able to do this almost every Monday or day every week for this year.
Yeah.
And I do want to say, I like seeing your faces. So I think whether we show it or not in the future, we should see each other's faces more.
Yeah, we should.
Even though all of a sudden I look bright red. Okay, there we go.
You look good.
I did, right? I'm the devil, so it's fine.
Yeah, I would agree with the two of you. And one thing I would add to it is that social media hasn't always been my favorite thing, but in this era, it really is, because people from, say, my mother and my family, I talk to more than I ever did pre-COVID. And now, Jeremy, you've managed to move away, and yet we still have kept the show going.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, I've reformatted the show a lot. I take a lot of cues from our favorite TV shows. I know Lincoln and you were fans of The View, and not just that show. I watch a lot of Bill Maher, and I watch Daily Pop on the E, and on and on. And so I extract. And I think we've been seeing commentary on how people are really liking the show evolve. And even though you're not with me in the apartment drinking white wine on a Monday night, we have done, I love through social media and through instruments like this, tools, we've managed to keep it going. And in some ways, the show, as a lot of people have stated, is even better. And I just wanted to read you a comment that somebody wrote in today. And forgive me, because I have to put my glasses on for some of these things. I cannot see these days.
The window's open and a fire, of course. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Getting to my comment here. Where did
a little better.
See here?
Only in New York.
Don't you miss it, Jeremy?
I miss it so much. I have birds chirping and all kinds of shit going on over here, very subtly in the background.
Somebody wrote, John on Facebook wrote, thanks so much, because he's coming into New York tonight, and I gave him some advice on where to go out, and he says, looking forward to your next episode. You guys are doing a really great job, and it's been amazing watching the podcast evolve into something wonderful. And thank you, John, for that.
Thank you.
I do think that there's some really interesting things that have actually evolved from that. And moving on to last week's poll, when the three of us were doing our poll on our Patreon page, I just kind of wanted to read you a couple of the results. And one of the questions that we asked on last week was, do you mind or care if porn stars like Boomer Banks speak out on larger issues like Black Lives Matter? And it was a majority said don't mind at all, including one of our listeners, Richard, who said they have a right to their positions just like everyone else, and good for them to use their platforms to express it. And I 100% agree. We were also talking about an app, if you guys remember, Dirty Code. Do you remember the conversation we had?
Right.
That new app that has sketches and so forth. And we asked the question, would you use an app or a site like Dirty Code, which strictly uses body parts and preference for body type instead of pretty faces and personalities, according to the Dirty Code creator? And it was mixed. Some of you, it was 50% yes, and the other half said possibly in conjunction with other apps. And I would agree with that too. And one of our listeners on there who took the poll said, I would only use a site like Dirty App if I was only looking for a hookup. I would never use it if I was looking for a mate. And I agree with that. Although I would argue that people have met. I know friends of mine that have met on the apps before that are married now.
Yeah.
I remember you didn't link and meet Peter, who was in the background.
No, I've never seen Peter on an app.
Do you guys know anybody that have met on one of those apps?
He's seen all my profiles because I'm a pig, but whatever. But I've never seen his, or maybe I saw one, but no, we met through friends. I also don't think, not to argue with that feedback, but do people really go on and going, I'm having a hookup and a hookup only? And then if they actually connect with someone, they go, no, it was only for a hookup. I'm not going to date you. No, you're going to date that person.
Right.
Come on. Like, you never know, or you might meet someone.
Well, do you guys want to get into some hot gay sex topics?
Yes.
All right, let's get into them. Before we do, though, while you're checking out our Patreon page, this coming week, in honor of our 200th episode, you can go to patreon.com/talkaboutgaysex. And on our after show, Dark and Dirty, I am giving you my sexcapades, the very few that I have had in this COVID era, and there's two. One was like a fling that I had this summer long, and one is like this.
Oh, I know her.
Yeah, and so I'm giving you an inside look at the fling and the hookup guy that still exists, and you're going to get a little bit more. It's called Dark and Dirty, our after show. Go to patreon.com/talkaboutgaysex. Well, all right, let's get into some hot gay sex topics. And our first one was something that made me laugh because Jeremy, I was asking a couple episodes ago, have you heard of the song WAP? And of course he had, by Cardi B, right, Jeremy?
Yes.
And of course he had. Well, there's a new song out by John Duff. And I don't know if you got to see it, Lincoln, but the music video, it's called Hoke, what's
Hokie
it?
Pokie.
Hokie Pokie. Yeah, my thing's not pulling up here. Hokie Pokie. And essentially, it looks like it was shot in Fire Island, and it really celebrates the boosie, which we've talked about on this show, the male pussy, the butthole. And I watched the video and the song, and these guys are really celebrating the male boosie. It's kind of an homage to, it's like an end of summer song in honor of Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, kind of in that vein of WAP, and they're essentially loving the male pussy. And what did you think of it, Jeremy?
I thought it was really quirky and fun, and I loved all the lyrics and everything.
Me too. Me too. Did we lose Lincoln here?
I guess so.
Did we just lose him?
Yes, we did.
Okay, so maybe we can. I mean, I guess we're still recording. He'll, I'm assuming, come in. Well, this is a question for you. You actually know the singer, know of him, right? What can you tell us about him?
So he is crazy, exactly like you see in the video. He is life of the party. I know him from, so you know my chef friend.
Yeah, Jeremy has a chef, a very cute young chef friend here in New York City who's done well for himself. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's one of his mutual friends. So that's how I met him at a party, and it was actually on Pride, and he was in a rainbow unitard prancing around, and he's really a lot, but really, really fun and loud and loves to dance and sing. And he was just with mutual friends as a Pride. You know, you meet so many new people on any Pride.
Exactly. And I would agree. To me, the song, though, and everybody should watch it, we'll post it on tagspodcast.com, is really kind of that WAP kind of.
It is. What I love about it is the lyrics actually explain, if you're not going to eat it, then get the fuck out of here, which I love that.
You know what? I love it too. And what I really love about it is that we don't get, here for so long, we admire and look at pop artists like Cardi B and Jennifer Lopez and on and on and on. And it's really kind of refreshing to have a end of summer relevant, sexy pop song by a gay artist.
It is.
For us gays. Like, isn't it about time now that we have artists like this that are putting it out there sexually too?
Yeah.
That are all about, hey, this is us, that we're having a good time. It's all in fun, but it's honoring our sexuality, like pussy and all this kind of stuff. And I feel like so many of us gays, we have homages to, like, behind her's Madonna, but it would be nice to be honoring so many more gay artists like this. And I know there are some out there, but what do you think about that portion of it?
I completely agree. I think that it is super necessary, super fun, and I think it's exactly what we need, especially in the times that we're in, or just after the past almost year that's about to be done. And I love it. I think it was a fun way to end the summer, and we're all still holding on to like the last tail of summer. And yeah, I found it hilarious and so fun.